Yo, what's poppin'? I'm gonna break down some Bitcoin here. So did we get faked out over here? Like, what's going on? I wouldn't necessarily say it's a fake out. Like, we knew that this range was our resistance, and it's been resistance since the beginning of the year, and it's a strong resistance point. Every time we've got to push into this zone, there's an immediate reaction to the downside. The one good thing that I still think is important is that we had a major candlestick back on the 28th of February. Now, what this is telling us is somebody's buying, and they're buying a lot of it, enough to push price up 10% in a day. I think it was 14% in a day, actually. So that is a good sign. I wouldn't necessarily say we're in a terrible spot right now with Bitcoin. Again, long-term thesis, I'm mad bullish. So what I want to pay attention to is how long are we going to stay in this 36 to 44K range, right? This might be a base that we're trying to create in order to get that push up to the 51, 52K zone, right? So that's something I'm paying attention to. But it is important to also point out the downside, right? Like right now, if we zoom out and look at the weekly time frame, it's looking like we have a potential bear flag setting up. Now, that's not like the greatest for the bulls, obviously. I'm going to delete everything out of the way here. But this is the bear flag that we got set up. Right now, this 44K zone is acting as resistance. And technically, this is a pattern that tells us we're going to be pushing to the downside. So I do want to be aware of that, just in case, right? It comes up in the next coming weeks and we get a major push back down to like the 30K range, 29, 30K range. That is still definitely possible. But if that does happen, I still think that we're in a major zone here, that we're just kind of playing in a nice equilibrium trend maybe. While we are basing this, if we zoom out and look like long time frame, big picture, this could very well be just a new base that we're creating before we get that major push higher. So again, when you look at it in log, it still looks pretty solid in log, and that would make sense, right? Look at how many times we've based sideways. We had a little dip. We based sideways after that. This could be the period of time where we're basing sideways. But I did want to point out that that is a potential possibility. So there's a potential bear flag setting up, and this is a long bear flag. This is over weeks and weeks. So the potential downside to that could be, if we use our fib extension, we use it from 52 down to the low point back to 44. 26K could be the target for that bull flag, where we might come back down and test, or sorry, bear flag and test that range. So there is some downside opportunity, just for the same as the upside, right? I'm a little bit more skewed to the upside because of the overall thesis, right? Just think of it like this. There's 21 million Bitcoin, and there's way more than 21 million millionaires in the world. Once the thesis and the overall understanding of what crypto is and how significant of the technology it is in terms of, battling inflation. There's a lot of other things, right? Me speaking about Bitcoin is like putting a shame to the guys like Michael Saylor, Anthony Pompliano, and all those other guys. But like, the bullish thesis is so strong that that's why I'm skewed to the upside. So again, right now it's looking pretty fair in my opinion. We have this range from 32 that we held. So I want to make sure we stay right in here. So this could be our zone that we're playing in now, developing a base. And remember, the longer the base, the longer the potential there is for an upside push, or the bigger the upside push potential. So again, I'll highlight it out. We could be doing something like this before we do that. And then if that's the new zone where we base, we'll look for the same thing. So that's the Bitcoin breakdown. Peace.